So let's get started with Pulumi here. So what is Pulumi? It's basically a IAC tool that allows developers to create, deploy, and manage cloud infrastructure using programming languages such as JavaScript, Python, and Go. So with Pulumi, developers can define infrastructure using their familiar programming languages like Python, JavaScript, and Go, and it enabling them to easily automate the deployment and management of their applications and services. So it's not like Terraform where you need to learn a new kind of syntax like HCL, HashiCorp configuration language, where you will need to write a complete different or weird kind of syntax for defining your infrastructure as code. But you can use here with Pulumi whatever language or programming language you are proficient with. Let's say if you are proficient with Python, so you can use Python programming language. If you are proficient with JavaScript, so you can use JavaScript, you can use Golang. So now why you should use Pulumi or over any other IAC tool? So main benefit of using Pulumi is you can use your familiar programming languages. So you can define your infrastructure using your familiar programming languages like Python, JavaScript, and Go. And also it supports strongly typed languages like Go and TypeScript, so which provide additional safety for you. And here you will use real programming constructs. It's not like Terraform where let's say if you need to add some looping or some conditions or functions, you need to handle a weird kind of syntax. So that is uh, here you can use your real constructs like you can define your loops, your functions, your conditions, same as you define for your building your software applications using your programming languages like in Python, in JavaScript, whatever language you want to use, you can, which you are proficient with. So Pulumi supports a wide range of cloud providers including AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Ali Cloud, DigitalOcean, vSphere, OpenStack, Oracle, and Cloudflare also. So let's discuss about Pulumi architecture. So Pulumi basically has these some main components like Pulumi CLI, Pulumi SDK, Pulumi engine, resource providers, and state storage. So here you can see in this flow chart, we have providers. So what are providers? So providers are responsible for interacting with cloud APIs, like if you are using AWS, Azure, Kubernetes, or GCP or something. So Pulumi includes built-in resource providers for many popular cloud platforms, and also additional providers can be added as needed. So it has same like Terraform, it manages state. So Pulumi stores infrastructure state information in a backend storage system, which enables it to track changes to infrastructure resources over time and manage dependencies between resources. You can use any Pulumi cloud. So Pulumi cloud is there, and you can use GCS bucket, Google Cloud Storage bucket, and also you can use S3. So you can even use your local machine for storing the state. And also, so here what is Pulumi engine? So Pulumi engine is responsible for executing your infrastructure code and generating resource manifest or deploying changes to your target environment, cloud environment. And here what is Pulumi CLI? Pulumi CLI is basically command line interface for Pulumi. You can download Pulumi and install on your command line, and you can use. So you can interact with Pulumi using CLI. It enables you to create, manage, and deploy infrastructure using your favorite programming languages. What is Pulumi SDK? It's a set of libraries that enables developers to write infrastructure code in their favorite programming languages such as like Python, JavaScript, and Go. So it is same like whenever in Python you import some package, or in JavaScript you import some package. So Pulumi SDK provides packages for every provider like GCP, AWS, it is etc. So now let's discuss about Pulumi project structure. So whenever you will create a new Pulumi project, so it will create a new Pulumi project. You can create using a Pulumi command, that is Pulumi new. And when you run this command, you can create a new project. So your new directory of project will be created. Inside your project directory, you will run this command and your new project will be created. And inside your project directory, you create your program. It can be in your favorite programming language or in like JavaScript, Python, or Go, right? So here you will define your resources. So same like Terraform, resources basically means what you want to create for your infrastructure, and these can have inputs and outputs every resource. So here another component is stack. So let's discuss about a stack. What is exactly stack in Pulumi? So here you can see every Pulumi program is deployed to a stack. So stack is nothing but it's just like to denote different phases of development, such as like development, staging, production, or feature branches. So you can separate your environments, your application environments or project environments such like development, dev, prod, QA, or staging to different stacks. So you can basically have only one configuration for your infrastructure, and also you can use different phases, development phases for your application or for your project, for your configuration. So what are Pulumi projects is any folder that contains a pulumi.yaml file, and when in subfolder, the closest and closing folder in pulumi.yaml file. So pulumi.yaml file should be there. It determines the current project. A new project can be created with pulumi new. So pulumi new is a command to create pulumi new project. So now let's go through our very basic Pulumi project structure. We will create a new sample Pulumi project and we will see how we can work with it. So I have already installed Pulumi. If you want to install, you can just go to Pulumi documentation and you can see how to install Pulumi CLI on your local machine. So now if I run Pulumi command, so you can see it gives me a lot of options here: Pulumi up, Pulumi stack, Pulumi config, Pulumi destroy, and it's saying to begin working with Pulumi run Pulumi new command. So now let's discuss how you can manage or provision your AWS infrastructure using Pulumi. So with Pulumi you can use your favorite programming languages like JavaScript and Python, and we will use Pulumi to manage our AWS infrastructure. So as AWS, you can use Pulumi for managing all your mostly your popular cloud providers like GCP, Azure, and a lot more. So let's see how you can use Pulumi to manage your AWS infrastructure. So here, let me create a new directory so first of all, we can use multiple programming languages. So here I will use Python and JavaScript. So first we will use JavaScript. We will see how you can use JavaScript with Pulumi to manage your AWS infrastructure. So I will create a new directory for JavaScript and AWS. So I will say it mkdir, and I will name it like JS AWS infra, right? And we will go into it. So now, as you know, in the previous section we discussed how you can create a new Pulumi project. So you can run Pulumi new command. So before that, we will log into Pulumi as a local. So we will use file here. So basically file means I will provide where my state backend will be stored. So I want to store in my local. So I will say dot, so because in this current directory, and I will say enter here. Now it's logged in. Now if you ls so you will see .pulumi directory is created here for the storing Pulumi metadata and the backend storage like state storage. So now we will create a new Pulumi project using Pulumi new, and we want to use JavaScript for AWS infrastructure. So we will take the template for AWS JavaScript. So it's saying it's not an empty directory because we have created .pulumi folder here and now let me create a new directory for writing my Pulumi code, and I will say it like mkdir infra or Pulumi scripts or something, right? Pulumi code, let's say cd Pulumi code, and I will create a new project here, Pulumi new AWS JavaScript. So it wants some project name, project description, stack name. For region, I will provide the default US East 1. So now it's installing the dependencies it need for JavaScript to use Pulumi for AWS. So it will install Pulumi AWS and Pulumi. So now my project is ready to go. If I do ls, I will see these files here. You can see Pulumi dev.yaml, pulumi.yaml, index.js and a lot more. So I will open it in VS Code. So now here you can see, so this is my index.js file. So here you can see there is already exist code that will create a bucket, my S3 bucket for name my bucket right here, and this .pulumi folder, we don't need to care about it. And if we go to pulumi.yaml, you can see runtime is node.js. If we go to pulumi.dev.yaml, so this is a file for settings of our basically dev stack. So if you do run Pulumi stack ls, so you will see there is a stack that called dev. So this is our dev.yaml file. So now if we want to run this code, we want to create the infrastructure for AWS. Let's say we have specified like we want a bucket. The bucket name should be my bucket, and so we can run Pulumi up command here. So it has created two resources. So my bucket name is my bucket this. So if I go to my AWS console, I will go to S3. So I can see my bucket is created, name it my bucket this, right? So now let's say we want to create a EC2 instance also. So my bucket is already created, so it is stored in the state that this bucket exists, right? Now I want to create a new AWS EC2 instance. So what I will do, let's say I will comment down, create an EC2 instance. So now what I will use, I will say const instance is equal to new AWS dot EC2 dot instance, and here I will provide the name, let's say my instance. Now in these arguments I will provide it the metadata for my AWS instance. So for AMI I will provide it Ubuntu AMI. If you don't know what is the AMI ID for the Ubuntu, you can go to your AWS console and you can go to EC2, and if you go to AMIs, you can see AMI catalog, AWS, Mac OS, and if you go for, you will find for Ubuntu here, it is the ID for Ubuntu, right? So now I provided AMI. Now I want instance type. I will provide T2 micro, okay, T2.micro. Now key name. So what is key name? It is just for my connection with my instance using SSH. So it is a SSH key pair. So I have these keys here. So I will provide this Kubernetes persistent key that I already have. If you don't have, you can create a key inside your AWS console. Now I will provide some tags for defining the name of my instance. So I will say name. I will say my EC2 instance. Now if we go to AWS console and here we go to instances, we'll see there is no instance that is created now. So if I do Pulumi up now, I will do yes. So it is creating now. So it will take some time to create the new instance, as it need some time to run the instance also to boot up the new virtual machine. So now it is saying it is created. So now if I do refresh here, I can see my instance is created and it's running, right? So now I will destroy this, all the infrastructure I have created. So my bucket is deleted and my tag is deleted. Now my instance is also deleted. If I do refresh here, I will see it is terminated now. So this was the process how you can use JavaScript in Pulumi to manage your AWS instances. Now we will see how you can use Python also for using the same, right? So I will do cd now again. So I will create a new directory, Python AWS infra, and here if I go to Python AWS infra, I will do ls. Now let me create a new project here, Pulumi new AWS Python. Stack dev region, I will provide US East 1. It is creating a new virtual environment as well, right? You can see here. So now it's saying my project is ready to go. If I do ls, I will see it is created a VNV virtual environment for my Python scripts, and here is my main script. If I do code dot, I will open it in VS Code now. So now here you can see this is my Python program, and here you can see it is also the code like for creating the bucket, the S3 bucket. Now I will open it a new terminal here, and now in the terminal you can see I am inside a new virtual environment, that is VNV. Now if I run this, how I can run this file? So now when I want to run this code and I want to create my S3 bucket using Pulumi and Python, so what I can do, I will run the same command, Pulumi up, and here you can see it is creating. I will do yes here. So it has created my new bucket here. And now let's create a EC2 instance also using Python now. So I will say create an EC2 instance. So now for creating EC2 instance, what I can do here is I will say instance is equal to aws.ec2 okay, so they are importing only S3. I will import from Pulumi AWS import EC2 also. So now here I will say instance is equal to EC2 dot instance here I will assign a name to it. Let's say my instance. My instance and here we will assign some other things. Let's say instance type. So instance type will be T2 micro. Now assign the AMI also here. So AMI will be the same Ubuntu AMI that we used. Now after AMI I will say tags, and tags will be name, right? So name will be as, let's say, web server, we can say my new or something. So okay, now let's run again the Pulumi up command. Let's do yes here. In AWS console you can see there is no instance now. It has been terminated, my EC2 instance. Now it is creating my instance here. So now it has created my new instance. So if I do refresh here, we can see web server new instance is created and it's running now, right? So now we can destroy this whole infrastructure using Pulumi destroy. So here this was the basic tutorial how you can use Pulumi by using your familiar languages like Python and JavaScript to manage your AWS infrastructure. So we have seen how you can use Python and how you can use JavaScript. So same as these, you can use other languages as well. Like you can use Golang also. You can use TypeScript also for creating or managing your AWS infrastructure. So now you can see my bucket and resources are deleted. So it is saying also, if you want to remove the stack completely, you can run this pulumi stack remove ls remove dev command. Pulumi stack remove dev. So my dev stack will be removed. So now dev stack is removed. If I do pulumi stack ls, so it will say there is no stack. So how you can create a new stack? You can run pulumi stack init dev, and your new dev stack is created here, right? So this was the tutorial how you can use Pulumi to manage your AWS infrastructure. So thanks for tuning into my channel. I hope you found the content valuable. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.